What's going on, everybody? Hey, listen, y'all heard about Fat Joe, right? Your boy Crack. It's Crack. Y'all remember about Fat Joe? Y'all remember Fat Joe? I mean, I know Fat Joe got a lot of fans out there. Fat Joe been in the game for a long, long time. They were doing Fat Joe's been doing his thing in the game. I mean, what? Early 90s, mid 90s, I don't know. He was out there, you know, I really think that Fat Joe blew up. Correct me if I'm wrong. After Big Pun passed away, right? After Big Pun passed away, I really feel like this is when Fat Joe became the man. So but now surprisingly, Fat Joe is going through a civil RICO lawsuit, right? This is what we're gonna be talking about today. I mean, in the game, Fat Joe is one of the icons, right, in the hip hop industry, right? To hear that coming out now, being tied into all of this, it's big news for a lot of people because, like I said, Fat Joe has a lot of fans. So, I mean, we already knew that there was gonna be other people that would be named directly, indirectly, ever since this whole P. Diddy junk, right? Uh, but that's a whole nother story. Actually, I never actually talked about P. Diddy. I never really jumped into the bandwagon and made a video about P. Diddy, this and that, although I do have other channels other than this one, but I figured this is actually fresh news. These are guys that I personally grew up on, just like so many of you grew up on. It's just crazy how all these guys are being taken down one by one. Now, I don't know what these guys have done for sure. Are they guilty? Are they innocent? We don't know, right? Until these things are proven in court, we don't know. Everything is speculations, alleged, because at the end of the day, we live in a system of law, country of law, but we can also give our own opinions, right? So please don't take anything that is being discussed about these things as factual, or it's just, these are the guys that we grew up on. A lot of us grew up on these guys. We can speculate, we can discuss some of the things that are out here in the media for everybody to see, right? So we're gonna go ahead on and actually go over to allhiphop.com. All right, like I told you guys, the link will actually be in the description for those of you guys that want to check out what is being said about your boy Fat Joe. And also shout out to allhiphop.com for dropping the news. I mean, we don't want to see, people get in these situations, but hell, you know, some people might think, hey man, this man is getting money, and all of a sudden these people are getting money, and all of a sudden, like, people out there to get them, this and that. Yeah, that could be the case, but hey, we don't really know. You know what I mean? We don't really know, because we do know some of these guys are extremely foolish. Some of these guys let their fame get to their head. We don't know who's guilty and who's not guilty. We hoping Brother Fat Joe is not guilty of all the things that are being discussed in this lawsuit. So let's go ahead and hop on the hip hop, allhiphop.com, and actually read about this. It's a little bit lengthy, so bear with me. And also hit the like and subscribe button. I'm gonna keep on bringing you guys these type of news, whatever that's going on that I think the public is interested in, to highlight some of the mess that's going on in our society. I'm gonna keep bringing it to you guys so we can discuss it together and analyze things together. You know what I mean? Hey, this is fun for me. You know what I mean? And I hope it is for you too. So, right here, we at allhiphop.com. Fat Joe civil RICO lawsuit, threat against DMX, Young Money, Tony Yayo, and more. Right? Here are the most shocking allegations against Fat Joe as he faces a civil lawsuit from his ex hype man alleging years of violence activity. Fat Joe is facing a civil RICO lawsuit filed Thursday, June 19th in New York federal court by longtime associate Terrence Dixon, who claims the rapper subjected him to years of unpaid labor, sexual coercion, and threats of violence as part of an alleged criminal enterprise. Dixon, also known as TA, worked alongside Fat Joe for over 16 years as a hype man, lyricist, security aide, and creative partner. I don't know who this brother is. I've known Fat Joe for a long time, but these brothers always got a lot of people around them, so you don't really know who's who. I'd have to do a little bit of research to see who that brother is. Okay, so let's continue. In April, Fat Joe denied Dixon allegations and filed a preemptive lawsuit against Dixon and his lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, claiming they were attempting to extort him into settling the matter. These allegations are completely false and part of a criminal conspiracy orchestrated between a disgruntled former hype man and his attorney. These two individuals have been scheming together to extort me with their elaborate and ludicrous demands changing by the day, Fat Joe said in a statement before the filing of Dixon's lawsuit. In the 157-page complaint, Dixon accuses the Bronx rapper of exploiting his loyalty while withholding royalties, songwriting credits, and compensation. Here are five of the most disturbing allegations tied to what Dixon and his lawyers have dubbed the Cartagena enterprise, whatever that means. Alleged cover up of statutory RAPE involving teenage singer. Dixon claims he witnessed the downfall of a 15-year-old artist named K. Rose. Yo, let's stop here, right? A person named was mentioned. She was 15, K. Rose. So now, will K. Rose be brought up to the stand? Will K. Rose have a story to tell? Will she be a witness? This could be another big case, guys. This could be another big case. All right, let's continue. Dixon claims he witnessed the downfall of a 15-year-old artist named K. Rose, who was signed to Epidemic Records, a label run by producer Andre, okay, who goes by the name Dre, Christopher Leon. All right. According to the suit, Dre began SUO sexually abusing K. Rose. Y'all know what I mean. In the studio after her parents dropped her off to record. The abuse allegedly lasted nearly a year. Yo. I don't know. It's all allegation. We don't know the truth. All of this have to be proven in court. But guys, she only 15. What? She only 15. Let's hope these brothers. Let's hope these brothers are innocent. Dixon says he and Fat Joe once walked in on Dre, panicking, yelling, "I'm going to jail, Joe. I'm going to jail." They found out I was dealing with K Rose, talking about K Rose's parents. Fat Joe allegedly responded, "Calm down. I'm going to take care of it." Dixon believed Fat Joe used a burner phone to contact the girl's parents. K Rose's music career soon disappeared. Right? So they got a K Rose bougie girl, right? So if you want to know how K Rose look like, go look for this video right here called Bougie Girl by K Rose. So I'm assuming this girl right here is K Rose. I don't know how old she was in this video. I'm definitely gonna look into watching this video after this so I can actually see, you know. Anyhow, let's continue. Force actual encounters under threat and surveillance. This thing is big now. Dixon alleged the rap star forced him into over 4,000 actual situations with women after concerts and studio sessions. 4,000. 4,000. These encounters, he says, were arranged by Fat Joe and took place in an environment the rapper controlled. In one incident in Miami, Fat Joe brought a woman to his hotel suite and ordered Dixon to have smacks with her in front of others, yelling, "Get your in hard, TA." You know what I mean? In many instances, Fat Joe remains present during these encounters, watching, recording, or issuing verbal comments and commentary. The complaint reads, Dixon says members of the crew, including Pete, Pistol Pete Torres, watch and laugh. One person who was present allegedly said, "Yo, Joe, I'm not about to stay here and watch this ninjas, you know, DICK." When Dixon resisted, he claims Fat Joe withheld pay, canceled travel plans, or threatened to leave him stranded overseas. Yo, man, listen, this a lot of sauce. There's a lot of accusation. There's some heavy stuff that Fat Joe's being accused of. You know what I mean? People are being named. Man, listen. Let's continue. Use of code, use of coded language and alleged firearm smacking, all right? Smacking. The lawsuit described a system of code language used by Fat Joe and his associate to direct violence and criminal activities. Terms like ketchup meant stabbing, martyrdom, okay, martyrdom, whatever, meat kill, and warping meat to place someone in a casket. I don't even know. They sound like them boys were speaking a whole different language, allegedly. We don't know. But yo, if he's making all this thing up, that's a lot of junk for somebody to be making up, especially when you actually able to come out here and name some names. So either K Rose right now plays a big part in this case right here because she was named as somebody that was abused. Now this is a civil case, right? Now you know the who Do you guys think the Fed is gonna put their hands in this eventually? You guys know you guys think the Fed's eventually gonna get involved? I think they will. I think they will. Let's continue. Dixon also alleges he used a burner phone to coordinate drugs and gun trafficking between Miami and the Bronx. The device he claims helped the rapper avoid sub uh the device he claims helped the rapper avoid subpoenas and surveillance while maintaining contact with criminal associates. So basically, the way Buddy's saying this, it's like them boys had a system. Them boys had a system. Let's continue. Alleged sexual abuse of minors and exploitation. Dixon claims he saw Fat Joe engage in sexual acts with girls as young as 15 and 16. He alleges the rapper used his burner phone to arrange meetings with underage girls, often while on tour or in hotels. Man, let me tell you, there's a lot of accusation right here. You know what I mean? This thing got me thinking about Diddy. You know what I mean? That thing got me thinking about your boy Diddy's accusation. You know, there's a lot of similarities up in this thing. One girl referred to as Minor Doe. One was a 16-year-old Dominican teen in New York. According to the complaint, she performed smacks acts on the rapper in exchange for money, clothes, and phone bill payment. Dixon says he once begged Fat Joe to pay her uh $100 phone bill, but the rapper refused, saying he was broke. Let's continue. Now, before we continue, now I done heard a lot of people talking about Fat Joe ain't really got no money. A lot of people say Fat Joe broke. I don't know. I'm not saying it. I'm just talking about what I done heard over the internet. I don't know nothing about this man financial standings. Like this is all news that's out there for the public. I don't know what Fat Joe have done, if he's guilty, if he's innocent. All of this have to be proven in court. You know what I mean? Because we don't really know. This is what people are accusing him of. We just coming out here, just chop it up with my community about what's up. Dixon claimed Fat Joe was in love with another 15-year-old girl whom he supposedly rapped about on the song. She's my mama. Fat Joe allegedly rented the girl a condo up the street from the house he shared with his wife and paid all the underage girls' bills. Man, like like I said, this is some big allegations against the brother Fat Joe. I mean, could you imagine? Like, this is why I said this is a big case, guys, because what's going to happen? You think this is just going to get brushed up under the rug? Heck no, because you're going to see, just like you see with P. Diddy, you're going to see a lot of women coming out the woodworks talking about, hey, yeah, I'm suing too. So, man, listen. I hope this doesn't happen to the brother. I mean, I hope he's innocent. But we seen what happened with P. Diddy. We seen what happened with other artists. Whenever there's one person that comes out, there's always gonna be others that's gonna be coming out. And especially, if these girls, based on what's being said here, if there were other girls that were abused or whatever, right? It's a lot of people that's gonna come out and start talking about, well, yeah, this happened to me too. This happened to me too. That happened to me too. But we just gonna have to keep on watching. I'm gonna pay attention to this case really closely to see how this thing is gonna transpire or evolve because I do know by now these things don't usually just get brushed up under the rug when stuff like this happens. Eventually, I think I'm really thinking that maybe even the feds might get involved into this and start looking into it because there's a lot of stuff that'll mentioned in this case, all these accusations. The feds ain't gonna just look the other way. But like I said, I hope the brother is innocent. I hope these allegations are proven to be untrue. But then again, hey, if you do the crime, man, listen, gotta pay for it. But anyhow, let's continue. Threat of violence and orders to attack other artists. It gets even crazier. Dixon alleges the terror. Uh, Dixon alleges the terror squad boss ordered him to confront DMX in Miami after a dispute. Talking about Fat Joe, instructing him if he acts up, take the hammer, which Dixon understood as a command to use a firearm. Y'all know, you guys know when they say a hammer on the street, you already know what that means. Though no violence occurred, Dixon says the order was treated as mandatory. Another incident, Fat Joe allegedly instructed Dixon and others to attack Young Money president Mac Main after he made a crude remark about Fat Joe's wife. Dixon says the directive was clear: attack Mac Main on sight. The complaint also references a deadly episode in Miami where Fat Joe allegedly ordered two teenagers to attack a man. The man, acting in self-defense, fatally shot both teens. Dixon claims their deaths were a direct result of Fat Joe's coercive leadership style. So yeah, guys, this is it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment about all this, because for those of you that have known Fat Joe for quite some time, for those of you that have been following the hip hop industry since the 90s, I grew up on that type of stuff, right? I was never a hip hop head type of stuff, but these were the dudes that was out there doing their thing. Now, to start seeing how, these allegations will start coming out against these dudes, it's kind of make you like, yo, I can't ignore this, man, because I grew up on these dudes. You know, are they innocent? Are they guilty? We don't know. We just, hey, the news is out here. We just talking about what's out here, and I'm pretty sure. And this is one of the main reason why I'm like, yo, hold up, is because this Fat Joe. You know what I mean? This Fat Joe is like, who's next? And this is the beginning of, I feel like, okay, the reason why I start talking about when I saw this news, I'm like, hold up, let me go ahead and actually, you know, bring it out. Let me go ahead and actually put some highlight on this, because I grew up on these dudes. I grew up on these dudes. And I really feel, after reading this whole, you know, article about the case, I really feel like this is another big case. I don't think this is just going to be another case that they're just going to be like, okay, whatever. Nah, nah. This is going to be another big case, man. Listen, like I said, I really think that the Fed's going to get involved in this eventually, right? Right now is a civil RICO lawsuit, but there's too much in this thing for it to just be like, okay, you know, just leave it alone. Like, this the thing, man. Listen, this the way I look at it. We can't say that Fat Joe's guilty. We can't say he's innocent. Obviously, it has to be proven in court. But what I would say to these fellas, or anybody for that matter. Anybody that's famous. Look, if you know you're guilty and somebody's accusing you of trying to put your dirty laundry out there, man, listen, before this thing hit social media, man, settle with that person. It's not worth it. Settle with that person because most likely these dudes are not going out there doing all of this just to do it. Oh, they ain't got no proof. They're just mad. I, unless you know for sure, like them dudes, what they just talking junk. They just want some money. They ain't got no proof because I ain't did nothing. Unless you know that for a fact, cool. Yeah, let it, whatever. Go to court. Prove them wrong. At the end of the day, if somebody is blaming you or accusing you of doing something you know you didn't do and they ain't got no proof, they're only making themselves look bad. They're not making you look bad. But if you know there's some truth to what they're saying and they might have proof, bro, I don't care what you do. They're going to take you down. They're going to take you down. And even if they don't, it's going to cost you everything you have. Lawyer fees and all that stuff. I mean, look what's happening to Didi. And this, we still don't know if Didi is innocent or guilty. But I'm talking about them lawyers are getting paid though. Them lawyers are getting paid. So yeah, this was the news, which like I said was quite interesting, surprising to see this pops up out of the blue, which actually was expected that there would be other artists that would be popping up, and there's gonna be plenty more guys. And this is why I'm like, look, I didn't jump on the PDD bandwagon because I was too busy, but yeah, we on the Fat Joe bandwagon, and there's gonna be more artists to come. Believe me, there's gonna be a lot more artists to come with all kinds of allegations. So like I said, we're not going to say whether they're guilty or not because we don't know. Everything have to be decided in court. We don't wish anything bad on anybody. Uh, we do hope that everything uh is gets resolved accordingly. But if there are people that are guilty, we do also hope that they get dealt with accordingly. Anyhow, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.